Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 44 of Chatting with Anthony. In today's episode, it's actually going to be pretty similar to the last episode, but slightly different. I'm going to address the question, is television or TV worth watching? So going back into the last video, I think media as a whole used to be more wholesome back when I addressed, I think the church used to stand up to more of they didn't stand for when things were as un-Christ-like as they are. Like, if you look at secular media, a lot of it had Christian themes in it. Like, I'm shocked sometimes when I watch some of the old shows and how wholesome they are. It's so, I don't know, I mean, maybe it's a weird way to say it, and there's also probably some bias, because you're also, for the most part, only going to get the best of the best shows, because, they're not going to... Some channels are dedicated to only showing the older shows, but naturally, the better ones are the ones that are going to last the test of time. But regardless of that, it's they're so peaceful to watch. They have real life problems and real life interactions with each other. But it's even though in the show they might not be overtly Christian, just the way they handle it, it's almost biblical, and they usually tend to work out. Obviously depends on the show, but that's just what I noticed. Some shows that come to mind, and I'm not saying that what I just said applies to all of these shows, because I haven't watched any of them enough to know. But I think of I Love Lucy, the Andy Griffith Show, Gilligan's Island, and then I kind of just think about how it did kind of transition. I think, I'm not saying that any of these shows are inherently bad, but I think about I Love Lucy and or not I Love Lucy, The Golden Girls. And as a kid, some of the stuff that I saw them do and say in that show, I was like, whoa. And I was a kid, I liked it when stuff was bad. But even I was caught off guard by some of the stuff. And I grew up watching, and still to this day enjoy, Everybody Loves Raymond. There's some stuff in that show that I'm like, yikes. I'm surprised I'm surprised that one made it to cable, but here we are. I don't think this happened overnight. I think this is a frog in a pot of boiling water kind of situation. But essentially, from a Christian standpoint, there's less to watch on television. Essentially, if you want to maintain, if you are trying to grow and maintain, and then grow, there we go, in a relationship with Christ, just most of the stuff that's out there just doesn't do that. It's just gonna tear it down more than build it up. So why would you watch it at that point? I would also say that in regards to how do I say this? We're going to continue to get a large volume of media. There's going to be a mix of good and bad, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that the demand for media is consistent, because our culture, we are very much a fast food culture, if you will. We want to consume, and we don't create enough, which is a part of why I create these videos. But you just keep taking stuff in. You're just always flooding yourself with new information and not allowing yourself time to process a lot of the information. You're just constantly feeding it, and then your perception of reality, it gets a bit distorted, and your ability to sit there in silence will get distorted. And this was a calculated side rant, by the way. But the reality is the demand for media is consistent because we just consume it like crazy. And the population keeps growing too, which is natural and a good thing. But, well, eventually it'll probably be a bad thing. But that's another topic. But yes, there will be no shortage of stuff out there to watch. And naturally, there's going to be some good stuff. I don't want to paint a picture that it's all bad. It's definitely not. But what you see get pushed by the big networks is what I'm referring to. Because the shows like I Love Lucy and the Andy Griffith Show and Gilligan's Island, from what I understand, because I obviously wasn't alive back then, those were on the big networks. Those were the prime time shows. Nowadays, the good stuff is buried underneath stacks and stacks of paperwork, and you have to go dig for it. The stuff that gets pushed out is just vile. I don't know if vile is the right way to put it. It's vulgar for the most part, and it's I can't even blame them for creating it. It's what the people want. What the people wanted back then was wholesome. What we want now is vulgar. And the businesses whose job is to make money are going to provide that for us. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Don't get mad at the duck for quacking. If you're going to get mad at the duck, get mad at the duck for the way he does his business practices. And I won't get into all that. I don't even have a gripe against any of those companies. I realize that between the last two videos, you might think that. I really don't. It's just I know how big business is as a whole. It just doesn't. Ethics, I think they skipped the ethics classes in college. Let me just put it like that. But, here we are. This is the situation we find ourselves in. So what I'm talking about is television worth watching. Nowadays, television is a much more of a broad umbrella. It's more of an umbrella rather than just cable. There is cable, there's YouTube, there's Netflix, there's Hulu, there's Amazon Prime, Amazon, I don't even remember what they call Amazon TV, there you go. Oh, that's so hard to remember. There's all the subscription services. You can watch all of those on a literal television. Because technology is pretty dang cool. But the reality is, like, all these different forms of content, and thankfully when you get on places like YouTube, it's much more self-regulated, even though YouTube is a bit hands-on with their what's the word I'm looking for? Censorship. There we go. YouTube, it tends to be a bit heavy-handed with their censorship. Wouldn't be surprised if I have problems with that in the future, because I know some of the stuff that I say isn't exactly the kind of stuff that YouTube would probably want to hear. But that's the reality of what exactly television is nowadays. And it's not, again, it's a good thing. My arguments would be television is worth it in moderation, because essentially it's just a tool. You can use it to learn, you can use it to laugh, you can use it to play. You need to have self-discipline to know how much to watch, what's beneficial, and essentially you can use the discipline that you build. What am I doing? The discipline that you build through only consuming certain things in terms of like the media, and apply that in other areas of your life. For me, the discipline that I've learned in the gym has helped me with making videos. It's helped me with business. It's helped me in all these various aspects of life. It's just helped me. I've been able to copy and paste the discipline model that I've been able to use. I've been able to my ability to do something when I don't want to do it has grown as a result of sitting underneath weights that are heavy, and then my muscles are telling me to stop pushing and keep pushing, to put it as simply as I can. And so you need to build up that discipline muscle one way or another. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you gotta wake up at 5. Oh, okay. Get your sleep in. But I don't care if getting up early helps you do that, if sleeping in to make sure you get enough sleep helps you do that. I don't care if you are most productive at night, if you're most productive in the morning. Whatever you can do, if you can set aside, if you can do your normal routine in terms of like your time with God, and you can take an extra 30 minutes a day and just sit there in silence and wait on Him, and that alone helps you build discipline, do it 100%. I need to start doing that if I'm being honest. But you need to have the discipline in order to do it, and a part of the problem is media is designed to captivate you for as long as possible. Again, it's a business. They want you there. They want you to consume as much of their content as possible. They want you to watch as many of the ads as possible. They want those numbers to go up, as that's how they can make more money. In the short term, in terms of the actual money they get from it, and in the long term, when they show the numbers, other businesses like, look at how much we can provide you. You're gonna pay how much? I don't think so. Essentially, what I'm saying is this goes for literally all things in life. You are allowed to have things. You have freedom in Christ to have not whatever you want, but there are so many things that are good things that you can have, but you cannot let the thing have you. You can't be captivated by it. It cannot have you by the cojones. You need to be a man and be a man, woman, whatever. You need to be able to stand up to these inanimate objects that are designed to keep you sitting, and you have to not let the inanimate object make you inanimate. You have to accept it for what it is and learn how to utilize it for well, essentially God's glory, but you have to learn how to fit it into your life. I don't know how many other ways I can really like word this, try and like figure out the proper wording, but that's basically what I'm trying to say. So thank you guys for watching. You guys stay safe. God bless. Hope you bozos have a wonderful night. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully.